So we've seen how we can change the color value of a few properties if we happen to like sticking to the VBA constants for colors. If you want to expand your color range into the RGB mode, then we can. First thing you need to know though are the RGB numbers. So for every color that a computer can represent, you need to know the red component, the green component, and the blue component. Now you can use Access to actually find out these color references if you have no other mode of finding these out. Just pick an object that can handle color, choose format, and let's go down the back color route here. 3 dots take me to colors that are built into the theme, but we can go into more colors, we can go into custom, and here we have the RGB model. Now basically the RGB model represents any color that can be seen on a computer screen by denoting a portion of red, a portion of green, and a portion of blue, hence the values here. Those portions are measured in 256, so from 0 to 255. So you can have any combination of 0 to 255, so 10, 12, 14, 222 bits of red, bits of green, and bits of blue. So effectively that's 256 to the power of 3 potential possibilities. Now sometimes this color will be defined for you if it's for a corporate logo or particular font color they want to be using, or you can use this color picker. So I want to be in the green section, and then you go down the slider on the right here and you can see the RGB numbers are changing. I'm also seeing the new color here. So if I'm quite keen on that quite darkish green, then I need to make a note either mentally or physically of that color. So that's RGB 6 112 24. So that's a very little bit of red, 112 bits of green to 24 bits of blue. We click cancel, otherwise it will change the back color here. So then how do I make use of this RGB number that I have here to affect my item title? So let's trigger it off the form events on current. And rather than place an if in as we've done previously, just going to change the foreground color to our little dark green for the title. So item title dot forecolor equals. Now to define those 3 parts as RGB values, I use a built-in function called RGB. Open brackets, and you can see I'm then given the little tooltip to remind me what to put where. Firstly, I need to put the red value as an integer, so that was 6, comma. Then I need to place the green value, another integer, 112. And comma, I need to define the blue, which was 24. I can then close the brackets. So I'm now defining the forecolor for the item title as this RGB equivalent. Back to the form, view the form, and you can see that every single title, there's no condition about it, we've just set the foreground color to be that nice green. Design. So it's a matter of finding the RGB numbers, then deciding how you're going to trigger it, and then instead of using here one of the constants, so instead of VB black, VB blue, VB red, VB green, etc., we use RGB, open brackets, the red portion, the green portion, the blue portion. And those numbers must be between 0 and 255, because there are 256 possible parts. Effectively, they go from one extreme to the other. You can go from 000, which if you view the form, you'll see is black, all the way to the other extreme, which is 255. Any numbers outside of this range will cause the function to crash. View the form, and it's white. It's there, it's just white, so you can't see it. Design, so we'd ought to affect the background color in that case as well. And our green, which was 6, 112, and 24. So although this is a little trickier than just using the color constants, it gives you more flexibility in the colors that you're able to use. Now, if you want to use some particular colors in your application, you can set them yourself globally and then call them when you need them. So say, for example, I quite like this green, but then there's a couple of other colors I want to use. The best way to go about defining them is actually in a global function. So we need to insert a module. So it's a standard module, not a class module, so it's available to the whole of your application, and create a function. I'm going to call that green darkish. So I'm going to create a function called color dark green, open brackets, close brackets. It has no parameters, but it must return an integer. And then you'll see that the VBA puts my end function in. So that's very helpful. It would be just a little bit more helpful if it placed the if statement in there as well, wouldn't it? I then define the value to come back is the name of the function. So color dark green equals RGB, and that's my 6, 112, 24. Now the advantage to defining your color as a function and placing that in a standard module, which I'll now save, I'm going to call it color module, is that I can now call this function whenever I need it and it will give me the right green at the right time. So if I go back to new items, I'm not going to call RGB, I'm going to call my function, which was color dark green, open and close brackets. So then when I view my form, again, slight issue here, an overflow, which means the data type is not big enough to hold the value I'm trying to place in there. So we click debug and it's having a problem here with my RGB. The problem is that an integer is a data type for a whole number, but it's not big enough. I need long, which effectively is a long integer. So this will reset my project, that's fine. And I can now see that as I step through my form, it is going into that dark green. So don't forget, if you are going to use a function, it needs to be long as the return value, not just integer, because these numbers are going to be quite large. But I can set lots of these. I could take my little template function there, paste down, let's have color silver, and color silver is going to be returning the RGB value of 192, 192, 192. So it's sort of about halfway to get grey really. And let's have one more. We'll take our little function there. This is really quite a good use of functions for effectively setting global values. Let's have salmon. That's quite a nice pinky colour, isn't it? And colour salmon is going to return the RGB value of 241, 128, and 114. What we then need to do in our FRMU items is we've set the for colour for the item title. Let's set the background colour for the item price. Dot back colour equal to colour salmon. And when we view our form, you can see the background colour has changed into a nice salmony colour. That saves you keeping notes of the actual RGB numbers as well by using functions. So it's the RGB function that we've used in the original item titles to call in the colour, but here we've then defined in our own new module a function for each of the colours, which is bringing in the correct RGB value for that time. So I've effectively created my own constants really, rather than using the VBA ones of VB black, VB red, VB blue. But you can't do it by declaring variables with these numbers in. They have to be declared as functions. So at the point they are called, they calculate what colour to use, rather than that colour value being stored inside your system.